Okay, today on From Football to Football, I'm joined by Rodrigo Hernando, a UEFA Pro licensed coach whose career has taken him from Spain to Dubai, Mongolia, Portugal, Finland, Iran, and Oman. Rodrigo has experienced international football from multiple perspectives as a head coach, as an assistant, inside relegation battles, inside top flight environments, and across very different football cultures. His journey is definitely not a straight line. It's a story of resilience, adaptation, and leadership under pressure. So, Rodrigo, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, mate, yeah. When I read about you, Rodrigo, you are the first person I wanted on this podcast because your story is amazing. I think a lot of people can listen and learn a lot from today. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is just something that caught my eye in an article I read was that you said you wanted to become a manager from a very early age. Okay, so where did that obsession come from? Because most kids say, I want to become a football player, but you were like, I want to be a manager. Where did that come from?
So I don't know, but always I say the same. I was the kid. I was a kid that I was dreaming all the time to become a football manager. No, of course I play football until I have 18 years old. But my dream was to become a manager. And I remember when I finished the under 18 age, I spoke with the club. I was living in Malaga at that time, and I say to them, I'm gonna finish my career like a football player. I'm gonna start to study the coach license, and I it's finished. It's done. My career like a player. And they said, okay, get your license and come back and start your career here. And that was my first my first season like a coach.
Wow, that's a great story. And also with your academic background, it's very interesting because you worked in physical education, but also you have a sports psychology background as well. And I would love to know, how does that influence the way you see the game as a coach? Has that changed anything about the way you approach the players, the tactics?
No, but always I have think that I have thought that if you are not a former player and you want to have a career like a coach, you have to try to get different kinds of things. And on that, and meanwhile the players they are playing and they can get the license, but um, always I thought, okay, you have to get different things. So what is that different things? In my opinion, is the formation. For that, I have two titles at the university. I got the master in psychology. So the influence is step by step. It's year by year, from teachers of the university, teammates, all the coaches, professional coaches, and academy coaches, and just talking with the people. Is that different kind of influence, not just one way.
Fantastic. Yeah, good answer. Good answer. And I would love to know, because you were at the Malaga Youth Academy, which sounds like a very good gig. But from there, you've decided to take that international leap, go overseas. And I think the first place was to Dubai, yes, where you went and you worked over in Dubai as a football coach in like Dubai Sports City, also a coordinator at a Spanish soccer school. What made you take that leap overseas to leave the comfort of your home, your family, your friends, and go to Dubai, of all places?
No, I think it's easy because when I finished my period in Malaga Football Club, um, nobody called me in Malaga. I was coaching before in senior teams in Malaga area. I was 4 years in Malaga Academy, but I finished the period in there, and nobody called me. And it was like a big shock for me because I thought, okay, I'm thinking that I'm getting better coach, and nobody's calling me, giving me like a chance. So I was 1 year just studying English by myself, watching all the football games in English to try to get one option abroad, because I thought my career is dead in Spain. So when I received the call of one of my best friends, he said to me, "I have one chance to you if you want to go to Dubai. Tell me when the plane is leaving."
Absolutely. So it was an easy decision when that moment came. I've got two. This is incredible. This is more than I knew before I spoke to you. Number one, I would love to know: is this something that happens often in football? Like, I want to know with coaches, especially maybe in Spain, or is it internationally, that even when you're doing well and you feel like you're developing and there is an offer will come, the offer just doesn't appear. And if this is something that's common, why do you think, for what reason does this happen to coaches? Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer, because I cannot explain you why. It's just, I think it's because football is a war, a part of the other kind of world in time, in terms of business.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I find this happens with all the managers I speak to and the coaches. It seems to happen to them a lot more even than the players. They seem to have a very rough treatment. I feel like the managers. I would love to know as well. You said you spent a year studying English. Now, your English is obviously very good because you can speak to me. You have this conversation. You express yourself very, very well. I would love to know, is that the only way you've learned English? Just watching football and studying by yourself, or?
No, no, no. I was with one teacher,
Okay.
uh, just once or twice per week, no more. And by myself with apps and laptop in the phone, with notebook, these kind of things. But uh, was by almost by myself, just 1-2 hours per week with an English teacher. And but like always I say, you are improving English very low, very so, but you need like a experience by yourself in a completely English environment.
Yeah, I understand that completely. That's what happened to me here in Spain too. I'm nodding my head because I know exactly what you're talking about, Rodrigo. It's a very good answer. And I would love to know, with that first experience, especially when you went to Dubai, how was the culture shock? Living away from Spain, a new culture, obviously a language, just environment. How did you find this first experience in a different country?
Mm, to be honest, it was easy because Dubai is like a multicultural city, also the country, Emirates, and it's easy the adaptation because every person is no local, so everyone is helping the teammates, because even when the persons in Dubai, they are living there during 10 years, they remember when they arrived there for the first time. And this is very, very, very nice. I love Dubai because one of these things is this thing probably is one of my favorite thing of Dubai, because everyone is helping the neighborhoods, the teammates, everyone.
Wow, guys, listen to that. That's very interesting information about Dubai. If you don't know anything about Dubai, it sounds like a very friendly environment,
Yes.
So that's fantastic. The thing that really caught my eye, I have to be honest, when I first saw your profile was Mongolia. Now, this is, guys, the only thing I know about Mongolia is it's very, very cold, and Genghis Khan was like a great conqueror, right? That's all I know about Mongolia. But then when I saw that you were working there in Mongolia, as a professional coach, I was like, I have to ask him about this. So when Mongolia first appeared, how did that opportunity appear, and what was your reaction?
So I have a good history about this, because I was in the wedding of my best friend in Tokyo, in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, and just in the middle of the celebration, I received a message from one Spanish agent. We were talking, I don't know, 2-3 years, and at that moment, in the middle of the celebration, I received a message, and he said, "Rodrigo, do you want to go to Mongolia?" I'm in the middle of the wedding of my best friend in Tokyo. I reply him. I say, I'm in this situation, and he said to me, "Don't worry, we have time because the league is stopped for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember, so we have time. You can come back to Dubai, and when you arrive to Dubai, give me an answer." And this day, I think at the that night when I arrived to the hotel with my wife say, answer him, say yes, and okay, I say yes, and in a few days I was flying to Mongolia.
Oh, mate, your wife sounds like an absolute star. She sounds like a saint supporting the Mongolia. And how was the communication in Mongolia? Again, was it in English or what did you do?
Very difficult because most of the people they don't speak English.
Yeah.
So just 2-3 players of the squad they speak English properly. The president is the owner of the club. He spoke very well English. I have one, we can say, key person, the keeper, because the keeper was Italian, but he speaks also perfect Spanish, and he was like my person in there.
Yes, yes. He was your inside man in that team too.
Yeah.
You. Wow, mate. And can you give me, I don't know, maybe there wasn't, but I'm assuming maybe there was one specific moment in Mongolia where you felt like completely out of your comfort zone. Were there any moments like that?
Yes, was one moment because when I arrived to Mongolia was like a meeting for the prime minister around the world. So what happened is that the my apartment from the club it wasn't ready, so they were cleaning, or I don't know what happened with the apartment, and they said, "Okay, we are gonna send to you to a hotel." Okay, no problem. And when we arrived to the hotel, they didn't book the hotel, and no options in any hotel in the city. Um, we have to book. We can say, I don't know, like a hostel or very very low quality, and I was in the middle of nothing in a country that I don't know, and was like a shock because it was like a outside, almost outside of the city. Was difficult that moment.
Yeah. Is this, I just curiously need to ask you this. Was that the first time you found, and the only time in your career you found that the accommodation was not booked? Because I asked you because I speak to other coaches, and this seems to happen a lot in Asia and in Middle East. They go to the accommodation isn't booked. Is this the only time it's happened to you? I hope so.
It's the only time. Yeah. Now when someone is asking me, okay, do you have interest to go to wherever? How are your expectation about the salary? Stop. No salary. I want the accommodation. No, don't worry. The club is giving you accommodation. Okay, let's gonna start to speak the salary.
That's right. Listen to this, guys, and make sure of the accommodation because I've heard horror stories about accommodation. That's great. And why did you leave Mongolia? I would love to know what made you move off to, because after that, I mean, we've gone from Mongolia to Portugal. I think was the next stop.
Yeah.
So what happened there for you to go to Portugal?
The season in Mongolia finished in the middle of October because start the winter is very cold. So as the league is playing between March, April, and until October. So I come back to Dubai because my wife is still working in there, and I was there looking for something. And one friend, Pedro Gomez, is the coach that he was in Portugal. Um, we were talking too many times because he was living in Dubai at the same time of me. So when I come back to Dubai, he say, "Okay, you are back to Dubai. Let's gonna have a meeting." And he start to speak with me that maybe he has one option in Europe, and I didn't know where at the beginning, but mm, in just 1 month and a half, he called me. It's in Portugal. The option is is getting worse. I don't know how to say that. No, so and he called me and let's go to Portugal.
Wow. And I know that from Mongolia, like if I'm correct, you were the head coach. Then you've got to Portugal where you were the assistant coach. Was it difficult to make that change from being the head coach to the assistant coach? Was it difficult for you?
Mm, No, really, because I think it's even easier to be assistant coach, even in a top tier like Portugal. Um, but in Mongolia, I was almost alone, just one assistant coach, local coach. Sometimes he didn't attend to the training session. So I was managing everything. So it was like everything on me. And in Portugal, I was in the second line of fire. So I was helping the head coach. Too many pressure because it's Portugal, first division, blah, 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 blah. But it was easy.
You know what? I was actually thinking that was going to be your answer. Before this interview, I was thinking, actually, he probably has a bit of less pressure. His face isn't in the firing line all the time. You know, you have like this bodyguard in front of you who is the head coach, right? Like, just so,
But
yeah.
but
And then obviously we've had Portugal. You've also been in Finland and also Iran, guys. And at the time of this recording, Iran's actually under attack from the USA. So how was Finland and Iran and Portugal? How were those countries, man? Like,
so
I'd love to know.
Finland was a very short period because it was like I don't know, like a trial, something like that. It's not common for coaches, but one agent he spoke that if you can become the assistant coach. The club is looking one assistant coach that he is ready to become a head coach if head coach is fired or what something happened with him. But just 2 weeks, so was a good experience, but I never have the option to come back there. So, and Iran is one of the, we can say, the best experience in my life in everything.
Wow.
Was at that time was easy for me at the beginning, but I had a lot of problems at the end when the club finished the contract. I was like 3 weeks stuck in the country. I couldn't go outside. It was very, very difficult. It's one of the best experience in general Iran, but finished it in with my worst experience.
Wow. How was that mentally, man, in that moment, not being able to escape the country for 3 weeks? What was going through your mind in that moment? How were you dealing with it?
Was very difficult. Was very difficult because I was travel. I have to travel from the city of the club to the capital to Tehran, back to the area of the city, back again to Tehran. I, I was thinking to rent a car or a taxi because it's cheap, and say bring to me to the border, and I wanna go walking to other country. And when I was in the other country, I will call the Spanish embassy and let's see what happened. Was very, very, very hard that situation.
Wow, mate. Wow, you've been through a lot and you must have built a lot of tolerance for uncertainty after that experience, I'm sure, man. So from there, Portugal, Finland, Iran, guys, we're on track here. We're still going.
Yeah.
So this is great. After this, we've gone back to Spain. Is that right? Yeah, Isara and Racing Rioja, basically, at these places. At Peña Sport, this is a little bit of research I did. You inherited a team that had lost 11 consecutive matches. Now, I think any manager that knows going into a team like that, it must be hard the motivation level must be very low, I'm guessing. What was your first leadership decision in that dressing room? How did you take control of that situation?
So I knew the club, I knew the squad because I was in Spain at the beginning of the season in August, September, and in October I have to come back at the beginning to Dubai because my wife started the work again. I traveled with her, but during the first weeks of the league, I was watching a lot of games, and I watched some games from Peñaspor, and I was thinking that this club, the squad, okay, it's not the best one, but it's not so bad. And they start with 10 games in a row, losing, lose. And suddenly, one friend from here from Spain, I was in Dubai, and he called me. There is one option. Do you want to start the negotiation? I said yes, because I thought it was my option to start a professional career here in Spain. And when I arrived from the first trainings, I showed what I thought. The squad, it wasn't too bad. Just I have to change the mind of the players because I was talking with them, and some of them they say to me, "I don't know if I have the level to play in this category." I say, "You have the level," and the first phase is, are you serious? At the second game, I don't remember if we won or we tie, and I say, "You see, you have the level." And okay, we have the level. And from that moment was simple.
Wow, man. Sometimes the players, man, just need belief. I know from myself as a player, if a coach believed in me, I would run through brick walls for that coach, like it's just, it helps so much, mate. I love that. That's a great answer. I would also like to know, you were at Racing Rioja. Now, it looked like you were doing very well there in Racing Rioja. I mean, you were in third place, but then you were fired when you were in third place. Like, what happened there, and how do you deal with something like that?
Well, it's the club was, I don't know, was a mess.
Yeah.
Because the owners were from China, but the person in charge from the club was player and like a sports director of the club. He's a Portuguese guy.
Yeah.
And they promotion that year, and they call me. We need someone that he know this level, the category, the opponents. Okay, we start very 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 good. The first 10 games we were leaders at the top, and when we finished the first lap,
Yeah, it's first round. Yeah,
or not first round, and we were third with one game less than the first and the second, and we lost one game. And in the bus, when we were coming back from the city to Logroño, where is Racing Rioja, I felt that this is no good.
had a feeling.
Yeah, that feeling. Next day, I think it was Monday, the sports director, or the person in charge, not the sports director, the person in charge, he said to me, "We have to change something." Okay, we were in the in the transfer window, and I say, "We have the chance now. Let's gonna sign some players." No. We are gonna change the coach, and I couldn't do anything. Yes,
Did
was
did that experience like harden you as a coach? Did it teach you anything? Like, what did you take away from that experience? Oh,
probably that if you can avoid this kind of clubs with this mix or structure, don't go there.
good advice. Good advice. That's a fantastic answer. And you also saved Isara from relegation twice. So this is relegation battles. They're tough. There's a lot of pressure there. What does a relegation battle teach you that like a normal, stable season will never teach a coach? I would love to know. Oof.
Phew, I don't know. I don't know. It's mm, I don't know. I don't know how to say it because At that moment, Izarra is like my we can say even like my home club, because I was in there previously, but I was talking with the president always, even these years, 2 3 years later, he called me. I need you. You know everything. Come back there. First time we stay at the league, and he offered to me to continue with the club, and I said no, no. I didn't see everything stable. No, and next season I start without club, and he called me again in the middle of the season, and we have to play the play out to stay in the league.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I changed my mind and I start the season. And the next season, we relegate with me from the beginning until the end. So I don't know what is different between when you are fighting for the relegation or I think it's the same, because when the clubs, even with Racing Rioja, we were fighting to play off, to play the playoffs or to promote. But the pressure is more or less the same. It's just the target of the club, and it are different targets. But for each club, the his target is the most important.
Wow. That's really good insight, because I was literally going to ask you, like, is there a different mood, a different shift when you're fighting for at the top, or you're fighting to stay in the league? But it's just the same thing, but with different objectives, obviously. Like, yeah, but that's a very good answer. I would love to know as well. For Spanish coaches, this is a little bit of advice for the Spanish coaches who are listening, who dream about working abroad. What is something that you think, when you started, maybe you had this idea of what working overseas would be like, but in reality, it's not like that? Could you give us a little bit of insight, maybe something that people don't know about working abroad, the reality of working as a coach in a different country? Because I think it sounds very romantic, but what is the reality?
Mm, I don't. It's like something like philosophy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, for example, I'll give you an example. So, I know a lot of coaches who want to work abroad, for example, and they say, oh, it'd be great to go and work like you did over there in Dubai. And, you can make a lot of money in Dubai. You've got a very good system. And then from there, you can leapfrog maybe to the leagues that you've been, and just have a very good career and keep going up the levels, and
Yeah.
maybe come back to Spain and work in La Liga. So it sounds very, very idealistic, right?
Yeah, no, but I think the big difference is like it's like my experience. You are working in third or fourth year in Spain, and you are now in 100 professional clubs. But at the same time, the pressure is more than 100. So there's no equalize. So you are putting 100 pressure, okay, but give me 100 professional structure, equipments, everything. And in Spain, that is no easy to get it. So if you go abroad, it's even easier in a small leagues, in a small countries, to get professional structures. And when I become a coach, a professional coach, this is my life, this is my profession. I want to coach in professional clubs. So you can get that in my experience abroad, easier abroad than in Spain.
Wow, that's really good advice. Really good advice. And I would love to know, apart from obviously the UEFA Pro license, which you need, the qualifications, what are skills that really, or abilities that Spanish coaches should be working on now to be able to have the best possible career in another country?
I think is the adaptation, to be flexible. Is in my opinion. So the qualification, you have uh, great qualification in different countries. Uh, each country has his own style, no, the tiki taka, something like that. But it's how you adapt in each place. And I think Spanish people on that is very good.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I've spoken to Spanish people all around the world, and they adapt very well to a lot of different situations. So I would love to know, currently, bringing it back to today, what are you doing at the moment? What is your current situation, Rodrigo?
Just I'm looking for a new club. That is when I come back to Oman from Oman. Was in August. I back to here to Navarra. My wife and my kids are living here, and I'm watching games in the laptop. But most of the weekends I'm traveling uh, to watch games in the stadiums, and also I'm writing a small you know like a news we can say in online newspapers here, talking about the levels that I have coached, and also talking with different people, try to get new knowledge from different kind of things. Getting ready when someone called me.
That's it, isn't it? It sounds like this is you, Rodrigo, and this is good advice for anyone listening. It's when you are in those periods where you're not working, you're still building and you're ready. So when that opportunity comes, you can take that chance and you can run with it. Basically, this is great. I would love to know what offers would you be interested in, Rodrigo? Are there any specific offers that you would be interested in? Is it overseas again? Is it Spain? What is the idea you have for yourself?
No, so it's like something that I have learned. Maybe you are wishing for something, but you have to be open mind because you don't know what is gonna show up.
That's so true. I mean, Mongolia, for example, like at Addie's, at your best friend's wedding in Japan. Like, come on, that's crazy. Okay, so if anyone is listening to this and they want to get in touch with you, they know they can look up your profile, they can see the amazing curriculum you have, and they want to work with you because you do seem like a very good person as well, not just a good coach, but a good person. So, how can they get in touch with you? What is the best way to get in touch with you, Rodrigo?
So just you can follow like my social media on Instagram, on Twitter, or on X, bro. But I think it's the best option, and we can get in contact also with in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We can get in touch in there and follow my next steps.
Exactly, guys. Even if, yeah, just follow the steps. The story itself is worth following. And one day, Rodrigo, please write a book. Okay, I will buy this book because it's so.
You are not the first person that is saying that.
You know, man, I'm serious. It's a very good book you can write about this. So this is fantastic. Is there anything else you would like to mention before we end this call today, Rodrigo, that I haven't asked you or that you would like to say?
No, just it's like I said at the beginning, it's a pleasure, and this is like a small trophy for me. Speak with you because when I started, I never imagined that I can have like an interview in English in other language, and I'm really happy to with this. And if I'm doing this, everyone can do it.
Oh, mate, I don't know. I think anyone can do it if they have the determination and the sure, mate, the willingness like you have had. This is you need to give yourself some credit too, mate. You're very humble. Yeah, absolutely. So, Rodrigo, I really appreciate your honesty today. Your journey shows something that is not visible from the outside, that an international coaching career is rarely linear. Yeah. It involves uncertainty, difficult transitions, cultural adaptations, setbacks, ability to rebuild yourself again and again and again. You've worked as a head coach and assistant in many different countries. And for the coaches listening who dream about working abroad, I really feel that your story is a reminder that the international path is obviously demanding, but it's obviously also very rewarding, and rewarding in places that you probably don't expect. I was not expecting you to say Iran was such a beautiful experience. Obviously, with the visa problem at the end, that's a separate case, but the actual, living and working in Iran was just that blew my mind. So thank you so much for sharing your experience today. And yeah, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
Okay.
See you, Rodrigo. Thank you.